everyone. Good evening. I'm Shubhangi. I look at partnership marketing here at Engati. And today, first of all, of course, thank you so much for giving us your valuable time and joining us at this difficult hour of the day. I know that a lot of you have a lot of busy schedules and still you've made the time to come and join us for this webinar. We have a very sought after topic today. At Engati, we've been kept getting a lot of queries around partnership that how do businesses go around running their own partnerships, or how do they join a partnership program and everything. And I think it makes a lot of sense also, because in my opinion, it is a wonderful business idea to go ahead and have an added revenue stream for yourself or for your business, where if you are present in a specific demography or present in a specific geography, and you have a hold on your audience and you're already providing your audience with a great set of products, and you want to give them a whole 360-degree solution, you might as well just go ahead and you might as well just go ahead and give them like an added solution, a both 360-degree approach. And the best part, you don't even have to go ahead and build it. You can just partner with with a business that is building the product and sell it for them, sell it for your audience. So we have Chandan today, who is our partnership sales lead, and no one better than Chandan to talk to us about partnership and everything about partnership business. Just over to you, Chandan. I'll just share my screen.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Shubhangi, for this short introduction and inviting me on the call. Definitely, when you came to me in regards to this topic as to why this is important or why we should choose this, yes, this has been my journey where since last 6 months, 7 months, I've been interacting with many partners, or I would say businesses from different domains, and they were keen on knowing as to how this thing can be added. And prominently when we talk about automation coming into picture, so I would say this is one of the key areas where many businesses these days are focusing, whether it's a generative AI topic or something which can help them automate many of their business function, either in terms of acquisition, engagement, service, and support. So yeah, that's where many of the key decision makers comes into picture, and my conversation have been done on those lines. But yeah, you were talking about, why a chatbot partnership, because yes, it's an essential, I would say it's a need of a business, like whether it's a B2B or a brand is directly dealing with end consumers, you do require automation where you want to reduce some of the human cost, or maybe scale up to a level where more things can come into picture. Definitely the platform and the solution that we have does come in.
Perfect. Okay. So since you have a fair idea of how chatbot partnership works, or how partnership business as a whole works, I know you have like a long list of everything that you want to talk about, and as you can see on our screen also right now, we have
Yeah.
the basics of what a chatbot partnership is. Then Chandan will go ahead and explain the benefits, and then the types of partnership offerings that we have here at Engati. Then once you do decide to become a partner with us, how do we help you? How do we help you deploy the bot? And then what kind of ROI can you expect from a partnership? And then of course, once you deploy it, how do you go ahead and market it, or how do you go ahead and sell it? Various strategies on that. Chandan, again, please take over.
Yeah. So, but I mean, the idea of as to how it can benefit a business, obviously, one pointer that you mentioned, it creates an additional business revenue channel. Second, it allows you to cater to your customers with more sort of services. So when we speak with, let's say, any sort of system integrators, an SMS aggregator, or a digital marketing agency, they have customers, those who are coming for website development, software development, or maybe any sort of SEO campaigns that they run. The same customer do have a requirement where additional automation can also come into picture. So that's where it benefits them in a way where with the same amount of effort, same amount of energy, or maybe same amount of details that they are putting in to acquire one particular customer with their primary services, which can eventually bring in more revenue.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yes. And of course, the various types of partners that we have
Yes.
been working with so far.
Correct. So this is the list. If you see, I've particularly shortlisted these sort of businesses because yes, these are those businesses where they deal with customers, where Engati solution becomes an ideal, product mapping, where apart from their primary services, they can push this solution and create a better value add. So the you are not only just improving the overall customer experience, but the age of the customer, where they would be necessary, or rather they would be taking your services also grows along for a period of time.
Yeah. And also, I remember, Chandan, the other day when we were discussing about the various types of partners that we are working with, you also mentioned, you're also talking about a success story, right? That you have.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So there was I mean, we do create case studies for our direct customers. So obviously, something that can be taken into consideration where one of our partner who was one of the premium resellers who was selling under Engati's branding was able to reach his break even in a quarter. Then eventually 2x, yeah, probably double or triple the revenue in the coming 3 quarters, which eventually boosted their entire sales, and the motivation, or I would say the energy that came into their entire organization was tremendous by just adding a small solution to their product suite. So yeah,
Yes.
that was one pretty good experience that I was discussing with the CEO that time.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. And then, since, okay, just let me, because
Yeah,
we,
so
yeah, I mean, you've spoken about how the end user benefits, but I think it's also important for businesses to understand how can they benefit from from a partnership program. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So obviously, if you see, these are the pointers which I've already covered, where businesses these days focus on cost saving. They also want, so when you go ahead, as you go ahead in a business or maybe in a market with one particular sort of solutions, where you also want to add something, you also want that the solution that, or rather the business with whom you would be going ahead and partnering, the solution is pretty much simple. It's also easy to use. The customer should feel comfortable. So that's where Engati being more on the DIY side of it, where it's the platform that helps businesses. So you as a partner, when you are extending this particular solution or the tool to your end customer, the dependency also becomes less. The customer, because eventually how I personally rate that whether this tool is happening, yes, on the customer side where we track the revenue, but also on the business side of it, that the team handling this particular tool, how comfortable that they are, what exactly is their overall experience, through which it becomes easier for them as well to also not only service the customer but eventually improve their engagement with their end customers too. Right.
Mm.
So yeah, few of the things that comes into picture that actually benefits them and eventually give them more confidence that yes, that is something that which is that they will be able to extend it as their own.
Perfect. And also, I think at the end of
Yeah.
the day, what matters to a business is revenue. And
Correct.
because getting in a partnership business gives them that added source of revenue as well. And I don't think so anything else, honestly, at the end of it matters to businesses after that, once they're
Yeah.
getting an additional revenue source.
Yeah, I mean, all these three pointers which you just listed down right now eventually will bring in more business, and eventually, I believe that is the number that will show that where exactly the business stands in terms of whether it's a quarterly, or half yearly, or an annual thing that the guys do.
Yeah, that's true. That's 100% true. Uh,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah,
So
your
this is,
favorite.
yeah, I mean, the most asked questions as to what sort of engagement, or predominantly when we speak with bigger businesses where they are also more interested in having sort of an ownership. So yes, well, these are two of the premium partner models that we have. You see, one is obviously a white label partner, and then there's a preferred partner model. Preferred partner, I would say, in a layman's language, is a sort of a franchisee owner where you have an opportunity of getting the entire technology, and then you can go ahead and resell across businesses as per your own terms and conditions, understand the customer requirement and do it. But yes, you would be backed by a brand called as Engati, where the end customer can see that yes, this is one of the valued product that they'll be getting.
Yes.
Correct.
And
And
I think it's time you dive deeper into preferred
yes.
and white label.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if okay, you also have a screen ready, so it makes my job pretty much simple. So, for us as Ngati, the idea is if you, so there are typical different types of partner models. If you see in a business world out there where people do work on a referral basis, people also do work on an agency basis. But yeah, we do have other models as well, which is one which I was just talking about, which is a preferred model. The idea is we want to give the flexibility to the partner where they can go ahead, have the entire ownership in terms of bringing as many number of customers. There should not be any restriction. So the major challenge, or I would say, when we speak with the decision, or rather the decision makers in bigger companies, they have an understanding that whenever they want to onboard any sort of customer, they require the complete flexibility, whether it's in regards to providing a trial account or providing or meeting their needs, whether they require a POC or any sort of proof of concept. Those things can be done. So these are all the pointers where you get an admin access, you get a master view where you will be able to do that. You'll have a holistic understanding as to where are your customers, what sort of plans that they have assigned. You would be able to offer them based on specific features. So ideally, there are many businesses those who also restrict the plans based on features, capabilities, the integrations that they offer. Similarly, Engati also allows the same model to the partner where they'll be able to play around with all those things and eventually go ahead and do things. So
Yeah.
probably if you also rather, what I can also do is I can also present my screen, Shubhangi, to show them as to how this would be done. I mean, I just have my test account ready where these things can be done. Just let me know whether you are able to see my
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah.
Correct. So if you see Engati being on the DIY side of it, the customer can simply sign in. Now, obviously, when we are jumping more to the partner model side, so that the pointers which I was explaining. So this is how an admin view will look like, where I have the complete control. I can see the customers. Probably I would like to filter it out, maybe have an understanding as to how many people are under a trial access, how many people do have their payment status updated. I can simply select any of their account. Now, this is where a customization comes into place, where they can define it by the number of channels. They can have multiple settings being done in terms of what sort of features that they would like to give, in terms of plans as well, as to what sort of plans they have, how they would like to build them, assigning of the trial account. All those things is completely possible, and then eventually also giving them a view where they can see the usage that has been done by n number of customers, and then also manage the account as to how many customers are there, what sort of interactions that they are going through, and all these things, which can all be controlled under one window. Correct. So I believe, yeah, this also gives a better understanding. Now, coming back to your slide as well, which you were presenting. So these are the things. Obviously, the question may arise as to what is different in a white label and then a preferred. So I would say where many of the system integrators or bigger businesses, as they have an established name, they have their customers, or rather I would say 60 to 70% of the customers that they cater to, they just stick to them because of the services that they have provided. And
Like standing matters a lot. Yeah.
correct, correct. And obviously, when you want to add a new solution to your product portfolio, where you, instead of going ahead, aligning a team and then building out a product, at this point of time, it actually makes a business sense where you simply buy that. So yes, we have created. So white label is something where you get all these features, which I just explained right now. But yeah, that will also allow, apart from this, it also allows you to enter the market with your name. So the customer now knows that yes, you have, this is the solution that you have. You will have it under your logo, your domain, your portal, and eventually the customer of that feel that okay, this is an entire product suite that they are getting.
Yes. Plus, additionally, if your customers already have placed that amount of trust in you, it will be
Correct.
easier for them to trust you when you come out with a new product or a solution. That hesitance won't be there as much as compared to if a new brand enters the market with that solution. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And also, many white label partners, or rather, when we talk about partners that we cater to,
Hmm.
yes, they are also. So when we were talking about a reseller who were able to do that, but we do have white label partners, those who have done 5x, 6 times of the investment that they did on the times, because they have high volumes. The customer that they cater to are enterprises, mid-size enterprises, where the volume is too high, the interactions is happening. So it becomes an easy revenue coming into the entity.
Yeah, that makes 100%. Yeah, makes sense. Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, uh, of course, we also, this has been the various types of partnerships that we are offering. But then businesses must be thinking that, okay, I understand that that partnership makes sense. But then why Engati? Oh, why our chatbot partner plan?
So yeah, I would say it's a pretty, I would say it's a very common question as well. I mean, when you deal with bigger enterprises, this is the, uh, I would say, very important question too, where they also want to know, because the customer can come from any sort of domain. They might use different tools. It can be a marketing automation tool. It can be a CRM and ERP system. So Engati being on the conversation automation space since last year and a half, I am proud to say that yes, the integration availability with the backend platform is there. So you see, there are many of the public applications, Shubhangi, not
Yeah.
only just to resellers, but yeah, on a white label portal where it can be integrated with most of the common applications. There is Zoho, there is Salesforce, n number of brands, and any third party applications, if they have REST based APIs, can also be done. And also another value add, I would like to also jump in that yes, when you talk about increasing engagement via chat automation, so you also want to include more sort of channels. So by channels, what I mean is, maybe they want automation done on Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp. So that's where Engati also has a complete view of deploying these chat solutions on 14 different channels. I'm not sure you have that screen, but yeah, it should be there.
Yeah.
Where, okay, yeah, this is there. So all these things where you build chat conversations, deployment can be done, and you can have one particular dashboard where you can control everything. The best part, you don't have to log in of, or rather, you would not have a separate login for every social media platform. It's just one view where you can manage, deploy, see what sort of interactions is happening, and accordingly, reporting and analytics can be done on those lines.
Hmm. Makes sense. Now, a lot of time when you're speaking to multiple prospects or multiple businesses who want to go ahead and take up, I said prospects because you didn't say it, and when you're talking internally, that happens a lot. So when you're speaking to multiple businesses, which do you think, which type of, whether it's like, I'm pretty sure they must be asking you this question, right? That
Mhm.
you have preferred, you have white label. Why should we go for white label? Like, what is so special about white label? And yeah.
I mean, so speciality, or rather why white label partnership is being taken into consideration, is because number one reason, as we already discussed, it allows you to enter the market as your own. I mean, obviously, if I have build a business for close to about 5, 6 years, I would then introduce a new technology in my product suite with my name, instead of, yes, I can partner, I can say that yes, we are associated with XYZ at the back end. But when it comes to the end customer using the product, having an entire experience on the tool side, that's where I want that the customer should see my name, right? So tapping your audience. So the second point which you just said, that is something which I wanted to make pinpoint, and then eventually that leads to the pointer number three, which you have just mentioned, which is expanding the business too. Because yes, now the same customer who was, or rather who is currently using your services since last 4 years, 5 years, is now using a new solution, it becomes very much easier that they might end up giving more references through maybe any sort of other business that they have, and then easy sales to come in.
Hmm. And I think, Chandan, now that we are actually, you're in depth talking about the white label partnership plan, you might as well go ahead and show them the white label portal. What does it look like and how do we go about it? Just let me stop sharing my screen. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, probably if you must have seen. So when I was talking about your brand, your logo, so something like this, where idea is, whenever you push the customer to any sort of a tool, this is how it would look like, where you can customize each and everything. Now, obviously, connecting your social media platforms like Facebook, Google logins, all these things would be done, where you will be able to play around with all sort of branding at the back end. So as a partner, when you go here in the admin portal, this is something that you can have. So you can then customize all sort of use cases, your name, your banner image, or we have listed out multiple options. You see, it looks pretty much the same, which I demonstrated the portal for Engati. But here as well, you have an option of controlling all sort of plans, all sort of use cases. We also have predefined templates available. So by this, what I mean is, here when I talk about white labeling, so the biggest thing that we also do is we want to make sure that the partner who's actually going ahead and reselling this particular solution
Mhm.
needs to be completely trained, needs to be, well versed with the solution. So one
Yeah.
point I would also like to add is we complete a training procedure where the partner has the complete understanding on the portal side. Also, when they are creating new sort of bot by any sort of chance, we do have templates that they can use. We help them with marketing collaterals, other sort of materials that makes their entire customer journey, or rather I would say the entire sales journey, easier for them, and some of the case studies or the references that they can use in terms of acquiring that customer whenever required.
Yeah.
So this, not only gives them the confidence, but yeah, eventually when you are ending at a place where other businesses would come into picture, you are then making sure that you are having an entire product suite, and eventually service the customer with more sort of things.
Hmm. Yeah. And I think this part was about the whole selling part or the deploy or the whole how would it look like if they become a partner with us. Once they do become a partner, Engati also goes ahead and helps them build the bot and deploy it. I know that you've covered it initially also,
Yes.
but it would be great if you can maybe define the process a little bit better here.
Yeah, so obviously, probably if you see how to build a bot, what sort of conversation journey it will come. So that is a part of an entire training process that we have, that the partner goes through for close to about a week or two, completely based on what sort of understanding that they have about the business. Uh, Either whether they want to integrate, how to onboard a customer, how the sales pitch should go. Like we also help our partners in, sales demonstrations in terms of, so that their team can identify or rather understand how the pitch goes, what the direction of the demo should be, how the
Yeah.
front end would look like, how the back end would look like. So it's a pretty simple things. Yeah, these sort of things. I did spoke about marketing
The
assets.
entire process of like pre-purchase and then post-purchase. So,
Correct. All these sort of things, and eventually also have we have account managers for each and every partner, where they set up weekly, bi-weekly, or maybe monthly meetings to understand as to, is there any new development coming in, any new sort of features that can come into picture, or do they require any new sort of strategy to interact with the customer. All those things can be done.
makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. I think we have covered almost everything that anybody who wants to go ahead with the partnership program should know or would want to know. And of course, if you want a better understanding, you can always get in touch with Chandan. He loves answering questions around partnership. Yeah, if you have any questions right now, please, we would love to take them up. Please do throw them our way. We are waiting. Yeah,
Sure.
just I think people are typing.
Yeah. So I guess one question, yeah.
Please,
Okay, so maybe one frequently asked question which I can, maybe answer it right away is, many business owners, they also, when they go ahead with a partnership with us, they simply ask that how easy it would be, what would be the onboarding time, or how simple it is to just convince a customer, or how simple is the platform. I would say pretty much not on the tech side. Even if someone having a better understanding of how the integrations and a basic use case would work, we would be sufficient, or the training would be sufficient enough to have an understanding on the entire platform, and then eventually also demonstrating the same to the customer on those lines.
yeah,
So
perfect. Makes sense.
yeah.
I think Calvin also here has a question. He's asking, how can we get access to a white label partner portal for white label reseller partnership? It's a complicated question.
So when it comes to white label partner portal, obviously it's a custom made, custom backend. So it would take some effort from our end as well to go ahead and whitewash each and everything. But at the start, we cannot give it to you. Once you sign up, that's where we start building it, and simultaneously your training and everything would also come into picture. But we can give you a sort of a test login of Engati backend that can help you understand it better.
Yes. Meanwhile, please, we would love if you can go ahead, scan, and book a demo, ask questions, try out Engati. And if you do end up partnering with us by September 30th, we would love to offer you $300 worth of credit to your partner account. This as a little token of appreciation that you took out the time to join this webinar, listen to us, and then go ahead and partner. Do we have more questions? Yes, we do. Does Engati help us sell to our customers?
Yes. So as I said, we do so at the initial stage, definitely when we talk about hand holding, as the product is new for the partner as well, it's very much important to show them. So we help them with videos, we help them with pitch decks. We have also went on sales calls with different partners where we have demonstrated so that their sales team have an understanding as to how the flow would look like, and eventually then once an understanding is there, the partner takes over.
Yeah, and Chandan, I think people here have pricing questions as well. What would you like to comment on that?
So when it comes to the plans that we were discussing or a model that we have, so there's no restriction in regards to the pricing that a partner can have, because eventually you having the ownership, sort of an ownership where you can control how you would like to build the end customer, what sort of plan you would like to design, what sort of features as well. So there's no restriction of you being a partner on the pricing side.
Hmm. Okay, perfect. There's one more question, which is, I am a system integrator. Which type of partnership would suit me?
I would say system integrators, majorly a white label partner would be a better option, because obviously you are then going ahead and servicing with all sort of things that the customer would have. So we do have many white label partners as system integrators. So I would say that is a best option to go ahead.
Perfect. Okay. We have another question about. I love how there's people have a lot of questions. So, typically, by when can I expect to break even on my initial investment and then start seeing profit?
So coming back to the story which we were discussing, obviously the partner, a quarter or maybe two quarters would be enough if you are able to onboard a good amount of customer or an average customer, you will be able to reach even in a quarter or so, and from there you can see that yes, the return on the investment is also coming in. But I would say initial 6 or 8 months is something where you would be investing time in understanding the product, identifying the use cases, and then the beauty of the SaaS starts, because now you have 20, 30, or let's say 40 customers who are now using the subscription on a recurring basis, and it's the recurring revenue that will fall in place.
Perfect. Okay. Another question from Anjali is, how often is the chatbot platform updated and how are partners informed about new features?
So we do run sprints every 3 weeks or every 2 weeks based on the requirement, and the partners are updated every month.
Yeah.
Right, as to so we do send out emails as what was the new feature being launched, or is there any updates that would be happening via an email, or maybe the account manager handling the account will convey the same.
Yeah, I think the dedicated partner success manager is someone
Yeah.
who's a bridge,
Yeah.
between the party and the partners, and they usually are ready like at one call, like just one call away. So whatever updates come in, or if partners are feeling any confusion about a feature or any new update, they can always go ahead and ask questions.
Yes.
Yes, that's fair. Any more? I think I'm so happy with audience here has a lot of questions to ask. And I'm pretty sure Chandan, you must be having a fun time answering all of them as well. Uh,
Yeah.
Great. Great, perfect. We have one more question, which is what kind of support do you provide?
So starting from starting from partner getting trained on the platform, the support starts from there, I would say. And then eventually, once they have an understanding, so support can be anything. A marketing collateral provided to the partner is also a support till us going on the calls, and then eventually also assisting the partner in terms of building the bot, integrating all those sort of stuff. Or over a period of time while the partner is onboarding the customer, there can be a technical ticket raised in terms of something is not working here and there. So we do have SLAs around it where we support partners on those lines.
Uh, Another question by Anjali is, how is data privacy and security handled for clients brought in by partners?
So our Engati is currently hosted on AWS. So for partner, what we typically do is we host a separate instance, and maintaining the standard. We are GDPR compliant. We have ISO certifications in place. Obviously, to discuss more on the security side of it, we can additionally share a cloud security policy document as well. But yeah, I would like to comment, considering we have many customers from the BFSI segment where this is one of their primary concerns. So we do have things in place which can be, I would say, discussed on a case-to-case basis based on what sort of requirement or what sort of security that the customer is requesting.
Okay. I think most of the questions, I don't think so we have any other question. And yes, thank you so much, Chandan, first of all, because I know how long you've been preparing for this, and you've been getting a lot of queries as well, otherwise, about partnership, and then we just realized that why don't we just go ahead and do a webinar where everybody can come in, join, we can discuss, and whatever questions are there, we can get them answered. Thank you everyone for joining us. If you have any queries, first of all, of course, we would love you to try Engati. And as I said earlier, also, if you do become a partner with us by the end of by September 30th, you will get free $300 credit to your account. And yeah, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us. Have a lovely day. I'll see you soon.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much, Shubhangi, for inviting. Thanks. Take care.
Bye, guys. Bye.